And when you start coming back, you can let me know where I left off. Because I had my head down, I was reading the reading. I have a love-hate relationship with technology. So I'll just play some music. I'm just going to play a little bit of music while I wait for you to come back. The universe will provide me with enough resources to have a crew and to have great audio and to have somebody to troubleshoot my tech difficulties, and so it is. I probably won't get all of you back. That happened the other night. Nevertheless, she persisted. Yeah, so if you can let me... So, did you like my little prayer? I'm manifesting a crew. I'm manifesting people to help me to do what I do on a broader scale. I'm just waiting a few minutes for people to find that I've come back. We probably won't get as many as we had. Can somebody let me know if you heard any of the second reading? Were you paying attention enough to know where I left off? It would be helpful. So, okay, so you got a little of the second reading? When I was talking about Emma Curtis Hopkins and... Okay, thank you. That's very helpful. Just so I know where to pick up. And thanks for coming back. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up again. Thanks. All right, I don't know. I heard a priest not too long ago on a YouTube video that said that evil messes with technology. Now, boy, that is true. I've seen it. I'm not even referring to me so much. I remember when my parents, when they fought most viciously, it was about a computer that my dad wanted to have, but was having a lot of trouble with, and I went, man, it was bad. It was evil. They got through it, and I'll get through this. So, I do believe that there are forces out there in the universe that are very dark, and they tried to stop Jesus. I'm not saying I'm Jesus, but your grandbaby said hi to everyone. Hi, sweet. That's nice. But we just have to keep going. We just have to plow through. It's just life. Quitting isn't fun. Let me go to the reading. So I was mentioning that Emmett Curtis Hopkins was a teacher of Ernest Holmes. These amazing teachers that were with us, with humanity about 100 years ago, their teachings are very, very, very strong. And my objective with Church of Spirituality is for us to put them to use, to put these teachings to use. You were watching Off the Ledge? Good, good, good. I got that in this morning, and let me take this opportunity, because I didn't do the announcements, to let everybody know that's a member of this channel, which is just like a monthly subscription, and you just click the join button to join. I have a program called 40 Days to Releasing Religious Guilt that's really impactful and really powerful, and it's free to members. It's included in your membership. And we do have a party every month, our little online get-together, and that's a lot of fun. We did that last night. Oh, you're late? No, well, you're not really late. We did the first half on one video, and then the Wi-Fi dropped out, and so now we are doing part 2 of Church of Spirituality. And a membership costs less than a latte monthly. So please consider joining, because you have access to that program, and it goes from Ash Wednesday to Palm Sunday. It's transformative. Most people were brought up in the presence of religious dogma. So even if you didn't go to church, you can still benefit from watching those daily essays. Okay, we back? We're back. Please hit the thumbs up. If we have trouble with Wi-Fi again, let me just let you know right now, I will come back. Yeah, Sandra likes it. And I'll keep an eye on things. So we'll go a little overtime. I'll keep an eye. I'll keep looking up if I'm reading. So just to recap, our theme is divine healing, omnipresent, and the sermon today, after this reading and the next hymn, is hearing the divine healing voice. It's an important topic. Hearing the divine healing voice. And Emma Curtis Hopkins, I'll read it again. This is from Scientific Christian Mental Practice, her book. There was a young practitioner who had spoken mighty praises in the morning of the way God, as the health and salvation of the people, would work through her to will and to do. So this is a young student of spirituality who was working to become a good healer. She was not as yet a successful healer, and it troubled her. She meekly acknowledged that God was doing great things through her and by her, even though she had not seen it so. Her first case that morning was a lame man. She felt divine compassion for him, but had no thoughts, for she felt that if God did not manifest through her, she could not make him do so. This held her silent and almost helpless, as if she were nothing at all and God were all. All at once, quite unexpectedly to herself, she told the man to throw down his crutch and walk across the room. He obeyed at once. He found that he could limp without his crutch very well. She had him try 2 or 3 times more, and he was cured. It seemed as if his flesh and muscles drank in the elixir of a new mental atmosphere. Very likely he was thirsty for the waters of the refreshing God presence, with nobody's thought to interfere with him. This little woman made herself so silent that the voice of the Spirit could speak to the waiting soul of the man. And so it is. So it was her being in the awareness of the presence of God. And what I really love about this reading is that Emma Curtis Hopkins tells of how that young practitioner who was learning science of mind and how to pray was going along learning, and she didn't feel like she was going to succeed and that she was very good at it. But what she did was she created a mental atmosphere for the healing to take place, because she was in faith, even though she didn't have the confidence. Okay. let's go to the next hymn, which is Lord, Prepare Me to Be a Sanctuary. And then we'll go to our sermon. And thank you for hanging in there, even though I kind of dropped off in the first vid. This hymn is one that you've heard the melody of before if you ever attended church. I'm sure you have. It's an old melody. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. I'd like you to sing along because it's so simple, even if you're singing to yourself. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Were you singing? I hope you were singing. That's kind of what we're doing. We're making a sanctuary. We're creating a sanctuary. Rose is singing, very good. In our hearts. We're creating the mental equivalent of that which we want to bear witness to and participate in. Very good, you were singing along. It's an easy one. This is so exceedingly important. This is so exceedingly important. I was listening to somebody on YouTube that simply said something to the effect of not enough light workers were doing their light work. And it really resonated with me. It wasn't a spiritual talk or anything, because she kind of said it off the cuff. I guess anybody could say that. Not enough light workers were doing their light work. And I think, you know how sometimes you hear something and it just sticks with you because it's like, that kind of feels like that's really true. So, do you think there are enough light workers doing the light work? Because what I know is we don't have enough support. We can use more support. When I randomly am watching television like I do with my mom, I don't generally watch TV, I don't even have a television, but when I have an opportunity to see what's on TV, I see how far we have fallen, and this is not a judgment, it's just an observation in our society. That even the food that's advertised is so removed from the source. You know what I mean? You know, we know full well, our bodies know what our bodies need in order to feel healthy and vibrant, right? We know, it's just common sense, whether you choose to adhere to healthy eating or not. You just know intuitively. It's natural. If you are looking at, a big bag of, I don't know, what do they call those? Sweet candies. Any kind of sweet candy. Especially the ones with lots of food coloring. If you look at that, like those gummies, those not, they're just candy gummies, just regular ones. You look at them and you're like, that's not good for me. If I eat that, it's gonna rot my teeth, it's gonna be bad, I'm gonna feel terrible, like maybe I'll feel good for it while I'm eating it, but we just know. And yet, I'm just saying, Cheryl, if you happen to catch commercials on TV at any point, and yet what this society has been just bombarded with is this entire alternate reality that is so far removed from the source that we can't even hear the divine healing voice anymore because it's drowned out. So, I swear I'm going to get contact lenses. I just want to remind you, hearing the divine healing voice is the theme for the sermon today. Hearing the divine healing voice. From my perspective, what we need in order to hear the divine healing voice is silence. And I'm talking about, when I'm referencing the commercials, I'm talking about the commercials that are pushing really junk food that's not healthy, and commercials that are pushing pharmaceutical drugs, telling you that you have to ask your doctor because you might have this and you might have that, and it's just shoved down your throat at every turn. I'm not judging, I'm just merely pointing out how out of alignment that is with us recognizing that we are beings of light that need spiritual and physical high vibration nourishment. And when we don't find a lot of others that get that, and we really do need to get together, that's why it's a reason for this church. We need that. We need light-filled nourishment physically and spiritually. Because we've gone so far as a society from our source, and the only way to get back to source for the benefit of all is to be quiet. And most people hate being quiet. Have you noticed that? Most people don't want to be quiet. But in order to hear the divine voice, and don't be mistaken, like I'm kind of surprised that some people say that they can't hear their guides, or they can't hear God's voice. Well, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, that the divine voice is a feeling, is an impulse, is a sense of what is right. And when we see a society in which a certain segment of the society is actually going against the natural human tendency to cooperate, to help one another, to recognize that we're all in this together, when we see a segment of the society that's calling that woke and attacking it, that's an indicator that we have gone really far away as a society from recognizing our divine innate nature, which has helped us to survive as long as we have as a human species. And the evil is attempting to convince everybody that a life-affirming way is not the way to go. That's insanity. So we need more light workers to bring us back to source. It's not really even about, oh, I need to teach you this, or I need to teach. We need more collective light workers. We need all of us to come together to cause this shift to happen, but it cannot happen if we're believing in an alternative reality that has nothing to do with the source of all life, which is the divine. Right? Can I get a witness? So the corporate conglomerates, they're way, way, way too big, are completely invested in our inhumanity. Completely invested in keeping us really busy in our minds, at least. Heavily invested. And I mean that in a literal sense. These corporate conglomerates are invested in controlling us by giving us an alternative reality and keeping all the noise going and convincing us all that noise is the way to go. The more noise, the better. The more distractions, the better. The more fear and the more freak out, the better. Your power lies, our power lies in the silence. The only way out of the madness is inward. The only way. And when we go inward together, if you've ever been if you've had the gift ever of being in the presence of a large group of people, truly meditating or praying, or really just in that spiritual space, it's palpable. It's palpable. You can feel it. And we need more opportunities, because when you think about our spiritual ears, that means that huge group of people, wherever you may be, that are meditating and or praying, are creating the mental equivalent and hearing the divine. It's a vibration that will save this planet from destruction. And that is where we are, in no uncertain terms. This planet is in danger of being annihilated. And I'm not giving you some great news flash. I'm just kind of bringing to the forefront what is true. One crazed, stupid person can end it all. Michael's mentioning so many folks are buried in their phones and laptops. That's by design. But we can have the technology, and we can take a break from the technology. And if we don't take a break from the technology, then we never hear the voice of the divine, because it speaks in the silence, not in an audible voice, but in an inner prompting, like that inner feeling. And what the CEOs are attempting to do is to shut that down. Is to shut down our divine access. and Amanda's saying, well, you're too distracted. I'm kind of watching the chat today. We have to make a concerted effort. When we make a concerted effort, and Amy's saying small acts of kindness can and do change the world, that is true. And we'll be more apt to be more sensitive and receptive to one another when we've gone to the quiet and we've gone to the stillness. And the good news is we only need 1% of the world's entire population to be in that state where we're getting quiet so we can hear the voice of the divine. It's not an actual voice. Maybe it is for some people. Well, it was for Joan of Arc. It was for some other saints. But for most people, hearing the voice of the divine is feeling that inner longing for love. And we are dying of hunger and thirst for love. So be that. The healing voice of the divine can only get through if we're quiet and when we're quiet. And I know that we're all doing our best to be there. What we don't have enough support about is that. We don't have enough people yet. I'm going to be really optimistic and say yet, that get it. And I talk about Sadhguru a lot because he was my teacher. I met him when nobody else knew him, seemingly. And he made it clear to us that that has to happen. Yeah, that has to happen, right? But I had also the experience of seeing how this, there's a song that I used to play at the end of Church of Spirituality before I wrote the music to the words of Ernest Holmes that we end with, and we'll do that in a little while. There's a prayer that we all say together with Sadhguru that's about that energy. I'll sing it for you sometime, not today. When 1% of the world's population becomes meditative, we will make it through. So Sadhguru's foundation, just to alleviate any sense that there's not enough people, has about 9 million volunteers around the world. So it's not that it doesn't exist. Let's jump on that bandwagon. So that we know that if we're meditating, we're not the only ones. And we're in the group of people that get it. Not everyone's going to get it. Not everybody is here on the planet to be in that state. We're all at different stages of evolution. A lot of us have done a lot of spiritual stuff in past lifetimes and came back with strong impressions from those lifetimes. But a lot of people haven't. A lot of people are here to just irritate us. It's true. And to have us choose, are we going to choose to be like resentful and awful back, or are we going to just choose to be like, to stay in our power? So anyway, I know this is long today, but I kind of took liberties because we had to stop the first segment due to my Wi-Fi going down. So let's just really make a promise right now. Let's just, kind of close our eyes and ask for the sense of dedication and commitment within ourselves to take the time each day, every day, to get peaceful. So if it feels like you can do that, just promise yourself that you'll do more of getting peaceful. All right, you can open your eyes. All right. Like I said earlier, there's never been a more important time in my life for prayer and coming together and meditation. Since I'm talking about Sadhguru quite a bit today, download the app Miracle of Mind. That's been his effort. It's free to get more people to meditate, and you can meditate in as little as 7 minutes. If you can't get people to sit for 20 minutes, at least 7 minutes, it might be easier. Miracle of mind. Thank you for coming back, even though my Wi-Fi conked out the first time. I appreciate you guys more than you'll ever know. And thank you for hitting the thumbs up. We have about 5 minutes left, so please hang out. Life's persistent and most urgent question is, what are we doing for others? This is your opportunity to express God's abundance. Please give to this church if you feel able. Thank you to all of you who send donations in. I don't have time to send thank you notes to all of you, but know that I've received them, and from the bottom of my heart, they mean so much. Even people that just give a small amount, it just means so much. And you know who you are, so thank you. Yeah, definitely, you can watch this on replay. Always. You can watch all the church services on replay. Oh, before I forget, on Easter week, I do Holy Thursday, Good Friday, Holy Saturday, Easter Sunday, a sunrise service and a service at 1 as usual. So I do acknowledge the Christian celebrations simply because it's a big deal, because so many people around the world practice spiritual things during that week, and I really need to kind of be part of that energetically. And plus, the Christian story of Christ and the resurrection is really, it's a universal story of that life always continues and that even death can't stop the divine. All right, so that's coming up. Easter this year is late in the year, it's April 20th. So thank you for your tithes and for your donations and for being here. Please share this church with other people. Please give to the International Rescue Committee to help Ukrainian refugees, rescue.org, and to send aid to the victims of the war in the Middle East, americares.org. To contribute to Sadhguru's Save Soil Initiative, consciousplanet.org. And the United States, please financially support all candidates that are Democrats. Really, really important, critically important that we save our democracy. Do what you can. There are rallies going on April 5th. Do everything that you can. We do not want fascism. That means, if fascism means we couldn't even do this. All right? I'm going to go to our prayer of thanksgiving. Thank you for your caring and compassion for others and for our sacred planet in desperate need of healing. Dear God, thank you for making us more aware of what we have that we can give to make a difference in this troubled world. Please help us to look deeply into our hearts to see that we can always give more. Help us to see that you make our supply infinite, granting us the inspiration and courage to be a more generous people. Thank you for the bounty which we receive. Amen. And thank you all. Let's just sing our closing number. Through the long night watches, God's hand grasps ours. The break of dawn, God's hand grasps ours. In the daytime of work and endeavor, from eternity to eternity, God's hand grasps ours. Time shall have passed, when eternity shall be strewn about like falling petals. Space and world shall be swallowed up in everlasting blessedness. God's hand clasps ours. God's hand shall clasp ours. Amen. So it is. Amen. So it is. Amen. So it is. Amen. So it is. Amen. right, we persisted. Thank you so much for being here. It means the world to me. And have a beautiful, blessed day. And make sure you spend time in peace. Namaste.